Hello, everybody. This is Rick Pidcock, and I'd like to share a few reflections on my recent article that came out titled How to Connect the Dots While Watching Shiny Happy People. This was published on June 7th, 2023 by Baptist News Global. So you've probably heard about the show that was on TLC for a while called 19 Kids and Counting. It was about the Duggar family. It was a Christian family, an evangelical family that had 19 kids, and obviously that was a story that many people were going to find interesting. And so there's a recent documentary that came out by Amazon Prime about their story, and it gets into different things like their homeschooling or their politics or their view of men being in charge, and their views of having lots of children. And so and then also gets into their connection with this organization called the Institute of Basic Life Principles, which was started by Bill Gothard. And so it does a decent job of overviewing a lot of the abuse that they perpetrated on people and that their children experienced in that world. But there really wasn't anything that shocking in it to those of us who have grown up throughout evangelicalism, even if we were not connected in particularly to Bill Gothard. There was so many things in there that in different ways that their story reminds us of our story. And that's really what I what I heard a lot of people saying in their takeaway from it was people were saying, this is my story. It's common throughout evangelicalism, but it did a good job of giving a glimpse into that. But I also wish it would have gotten more specific about some of the abuses and the theology behind it. And so the Gospel Coalition jumped in and they published an article that jumped on that lack of specificity by saying that the attempts were heavy-handed to equate Gothard's genuine extremism with beliefs held by the vast majority of evangelicals. And so what I wanted to do was say, because there's a lot of evangelicals who are saying, oh, that's not us, those are just extremists. I wanted to come back and say, actually, this is mainstream conservative evangelicalism. And so the IBLP has these concepts called the 7 Basic Life Principles. And so what I did in this article was I went through all 7 of them and I shared what they were in IBLP's words, and then I shared mainstream conservative evangelical teachers who promote the exact same principles. And so I think really what's happening here is that we all get what's going on. We all recognize that a tower of hierarchy is being built with men at the top exercising power and authority over women and children below, and it's fostering a lot of abuse and violence toward those women and children. And so these ministries really are not that different. They, the Gothard people may ban pantaloons, and you say, well, that's extreme. But then a lot of these mainstream conservative evangelical ministries will ban yoga pants. Well, the Gothard requires pantaloons, but then the evangelicals will ban yoga pants, as if somehow that's fundamentally different way of men being in charge of women. The structure is still the same. Men are in charge of women, and men are using their authority in ways that harm and belittle women. So they may be, it's like different, they may be putting different paint colors on, or they may be contractors in the same tower with different assignments, but the fact is they're building the same theological tower. And that's one of the ways that I believe religious journalism has a voice here, is because we recognize some of these patterns that somebody like an Amazon Prime may not quite recognize. And so I'm thankful for the docu-series, but I also think that it's important to add voices to this of people who understand how the theology functions, understand how the power dynamics function, because these have very real implications on our society.